Hello, the teachers try. I was sent to the kids section of course the primary school, and it was interesting. Remember, children never lie. So I was able to work my way slowly, moved into the second upper primary. Before you get there, let me just ask, this internship, was it fresh out of campus, or how was your journey? First of all, tell us where you went to school in. So I'm sure you did like a degree, which was high school, and I hear you mentioning the primary section. So please clarify that for us. Oh, thank you, Miss Mercy. I went to college at the Kenyatta University, right, institution, and interestingly, getting into internship, of course, it was my first school. So when I joined the school, it was my very first school to intern with, probably apart from the teaching practice. So it was my first school, of course. Tell us about the teaching practice. Where did you go for teaching practice? I don't know if I want to mention where I went teaching practice. It is a school in my county, my village county.
What's your village
class? I'm from the Nyeri County, the Odaya constituency. So it is a school at the suburbs of the Nyeri County. I don't know whether it is the suburbs, but I'm not sure I want to mention the name. It has a very interesting name.
That's the thing.
Sure.
Right. All right. So after the teacher, what was the name? The teaching practice. How was the teaching practice? How was your experience during teaching practice?
I think it was interesting because I got to get to a school which was not so privileged in terms of resources. So we had a bit of struggles with the resources, and the children came from very humble backgrounds. So it was up to me to understand them. And even when they missed school, sometimes you did not have a choice because they had various reasons as to why they were missing school. So it was an interesting journey of understanding children coming to their level. But despite the challenges, they were really working hard towards being at school. So I appreciate that part.
Yeah, all right. That's amazing. All right. So fresh from campus, you went for your teaching practice. Now you're done with teaching practice after 3 months. So you did your teaching practice after your 4-year course, right? All right. So what happens next?
After my teaching practice, of course, I had a small baby at that particular time.
Oh,
just so to
2 degrees.
mention.
You have 2 degrees.
Yeah, so as I was clearing campus, yeah, sure, I had another degree. So I'd just given birth to my little girl. So I was juggling between being a mother and now beginning a career. So it was during that part, there's an auntie of mine who we are very close, just to mention, shout out Aunt Cecilia. So she saw the advert for the internship program. She was kind enough to send it to me, but she was kind to mention that it is unpaid internship. So it was up to me to make that decision on whether I want to begin the internship or maybe continue staying at home as I wait for something maybe better. But nevertheless, we applied for the internship and I was called for the interviews. Fortunately, I went through the interview and I got absorbed into the internship program. Sure.
All right, that's amazing. All right, so now take us through the growth part. So this is your first institution to work with. You started as an intern. It's a primary school, right?
Primary school. Yes.
All right. So how did that go? How did you work your way to where you are now?
Awesome. When I got absorbed into the internship program, I was sent straight into the grade 6, then the grade 6, the class 6, then particularly the 844 system.
Oh, before the kids there.
Before the kids there.
Sure.
So I began my internship there and I found a very amazing lady. Maybe I could mention Miss Jane Mutuku. So Miss Jane Mutuku was very welcoming and I settled in very fast. Because she was kind to me, she showed me how the system works. Then we started working together. Of course, she was able to clearly tell me what my duties would be. And that was very nice because when you have when your duties are set, of course, you know what boundaries not to, you know what cross,
you know your
to
place.
cross, you know your place. So I was able to work with her and for sure, it was interesting. Now, I'm coming from my teaching practice at a school that is not very privileged to a school that is very well organized with all systems in place. So it was like a culture shock.
For sure. I can imagine.
Yeah, so I got acclimatized to different programs at the school. And interesting enough, I think I'm a quick learner also. I was able to catch in very fast. So I was able to know how they run the system, to know the children, how they work. And that way we got to work with Miss Jane, not only for one term, but close to 2 terms before I got employed.
Wow. Awesome. So teaching kids, this is something you had never done before. How did that look like for you? How did you feel? Were there any shocks? Again, this is also a very privileged school. So of course, these are things you're not used to. So how did you adapt?
Interesting. At first, I would say it was really shocking. Because like we are saying, these children are coming from very able backgrounds. So they're children who are able to express themselves. And sometimes you could take that for disrespect or being rude. The children are very, very confident. So what happened, for me, it was a shock. It was really shocking. And before I was able to absorb it, it took a bit of time. Because I thought, I'm coming from a place where you tell the children what to do, they listen to the teacher. The teacher is everything. Of course, especially when you're teaching at high school.
And the teacher is the boss.
The teacher is the boss. So your word is taken from whatever you tell the children is exactly what they do. But here is the children with a voice. The children have a voice. They have an opinion. They're able to express themselves. So to me, it was really a shock before I got used to it. And as I got to learning, then somehow it became easy.
All right.
This was the easiest place for me to adapt, and it is the place where now I really loved teaching passionately.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And blending in with the kids, because they're also very genuine. I know kids love, and they don't, they don't take sides. They don't say this one is dark, I'm not going, they've not started developing and judging people. Older kids can judge. Tell us about that. What was there like any sort of, judgments coming from the older kids? How was it working with older kids?
Remember, working with older kids, they already have an opinion. So including how you dress, how you walk, how you talk. So their opinion, they are very opinionated. And as they are growing, remember, these children are now starting to know themselves, their body changes and everything. So they are very opinionated compared to the small children. So here is where you have the conversation very raw. Because here now, they will tell you exactly as it is. Remember, a child will tell you, "Mystery, you look very beautiful." Probably they mean it. But these are children, and they could be cheeky. So they could be not meaning what they are saying. So this is now where you get it right. As well, here you have to get it right. You cannot go wrong with it. The grown children, because here they are picking depending on their opinion or what they feel or how they feel. So there's a very big difference between teaching the pre-primary children and the older children. But interesting enough, they are also very interesting. The older children are also very interesting because now remember they can be able to do most of the things for themselves compared to the smaller children. There is no babysitting. But at the pre-primary, sometimes you have to accept to be the teacher and to babysit the mother and to cater for the children's need as they can. But for the bigger children, remember they can do most of the things for themselves. So there's quite a difference between the two grades.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And now I am glad you guys have at least known who Miss Terry is, what she does. If you have questions for her, please go ahead and type that in the comment section. Now we are going to go to my favorite section of this interview, which is the fun spot. This is where we are going to be having questions. It's mostly like a Q&A. So we're going to have questions and I will let the guest pick first. So the guest will go first, she'll pick her card, and then we're going to discuss how the questions come.
All right, this is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be very honest. That's a disclaimer. Read the question. Read for them.
Name that one teacher who means more to you.
Awesome. I love that question. There's always that one teacher who means more to you than anyone else. It could be a childhood teacher. It could be your high school teacher. It could be in university. You can go ahead and tell us about that one teacher that you always remember.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Massey. Probably where I met one of my favorite teachers is at high school.
Wow.
Interesting. She was very nice to me, and she's the one who encouraged me. Probably, of course, I was not thinking I was going to go into the line of being a teacher, but she really encouraged me, and she used to teach me mathematics in Narumoro Girls High School.
Oh,
So yeah, I went to Narumoro Girls High
that's
School.
in Nyeri as well.
Just so you know, yes, at Nyeri Narumoro.
All right. I
So-
schooled in Nyeri too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Where?
Yeah. I was at Gandu. Gandu.
Oh my goodness. Great.
Yes.
All right. So I met my most interesting teacher at high school. She really encouraged me.
So why? Why do you still remember her? What was it that she did? Maybe this could help another teacher. What was it that she did that stood out for you or that still stuck with you up to now?
Interesting. I think she was very kind. Like those teachers who are naysayers, I believe she really pushed me towards becoming the best and making me believe I could do it. Remember, sometimes math can be mentioned to be a bit problematic for the girls, but she really encouraged me and pushed me into becoming a great mathematician. And what I remember most is her kind words up to date. Yeah, the kind words. Because I think kind words go a long way. So I remember her kind words up to date.
Awesome. Kindness, teachers, kindness. I think I also have like a favorite teacher or a teacher that has still stuck with me, who is the reason why mostly I just do what I do. I won't talk much about it because I'm the one interviewing, not the other way. But yeah, it was also around those lines, kindness.
Just be real.
Be genuine.
Be genuine.
Wow.
Be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. That's good. You're moving on swiftly. What's your favorite teacher movie? There's any?
I would say not yet,
Okay.
but I'm looking forward probably to watching one. Would you recommend any?
Well, it's not a teacher movie, but I have watched Young Sheldon, and I think I really like it. He's a very smart boy, and it also has instances where he's in a class setup. So that would be a good movie.
That will be my to-do list.
All right,
Miss Mas.
All right, go ahead. It's your turn.
What is the weirdest experience during a parent-teacher conference? Parent-teacher meeting. At our school, we call them parent-teacher conference.
All right. That's weirdest experience. So a parent-teacher conference in other schools could be a parent-teacher meeting. This is where you go probably meet parents of the students you teach. It could be in your classroom setup. So the parents come in and then you discuss, mambo ya nyumbani, your indoor stuff.
Wow. Maybe probably one of them parent-teacher conference weird moments is when I have to discuss with a parent what their child told me about home.
Oh, and they can tell.
Yes, they can tell. So, as a teacher now, I really have to figure out how do I tell my parents the child told me this.
Oh, yeah. Without looking like you're the one who was probing or
Exactly.
asking.
Without looking like I was probing
for information.
initial. So I really have to be very cautious on how to handle that. It's very, very
that's
weird.
very weird.
Especially when a child tells you something weird as well. And you have to communicate it to the parent probably out of concern or for it to be addressed.
Oh, yeah. They're the ones that raise concern.
Sure. So sometimes I've really had to find the balance on how to address the issues.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it is answered clearly and nicely, both to me and to the parent.
Yeah, and for the parent to as well take it in a
Positive way.
For sure. All right. This is a fun one. What's the nastiest thing a student has ever said to you?
Oh my goodness. Telling you you're not their mother, they have a point.
They do.
Why not?
They actually do.
Children have a point.
Yeah.
And of course, they can be able to differentiate, you're my mother, you're not my mother.
Yeah, or
in
this
instance,
you're crossing a
the
line.
future.
Yeah,
So
you need to stay in your lane.
I understand.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right.
Wow. Do you have holidays? When do you have holidays? And what do you do on holiday? Wow, yes, we do have holidays. A lot of them, like thrice in a year, if I get the question.
Yeah.
We go for holidays during the April holidays, the August holidays, the December holidays.
So your holidays are the same as you're in Cambridge, right? Your holidays are the same as in other schools, or how does that work?
Oh, interesting. Now that I'm in Cambridge school, now we are following the Cambridge system. But when I was in the CBC system, of course, our holidays coincided with the rest of the schools.
Sure.
But now our Cambridge holidays do not coincide with the CBC schools. We go for holidays at different times. Yes, like even during December, we are working. That is very, very interesting.
When we are on a 2 months holiday.
Sure.
You
So it
guys
is
are
a bit
working.
different for us, but we do go for holidays,
All right.
yes. And when I go for holidays, I take a lot of rest. Of course, probably assist the children at home, spending time with the children at home, my family, and of course, take a lot of rest.
Yeah.
Sometimes sleeping a lot.
Sleeping in, especially because of the early mornings. You need to sleep
Mornings
in.
now, I'm compensating for them during the holidays, yes.
All right. Oh, I'm the one getting the students one. What is the sweetest thing a student has ever said to you?
Oh, the sweetest thing a student has ever told me is, Miss Terry, you are the most kind person I've ever met, and you are the most approachable person I have met. That means they have confidence in me. They can be able to talk to me, and I was happy to know.
Space. That's really good. Oh, there's a quote I saw somewhere that said, kids don't learn from people they don't like. Yes, kids don't learn from people they don't like. So the fact that they felt that you're approachable and you're kind to them, that means they've already created that rapport between you and them.
I agree, and it's very, very beautiful, because for me it is one student at a day. And how I make my learners feel is very, very, very important. I don't want a child going home and thinking, Miss Terry is what I have met. I don't want that. So I try as much as possible. Remember, they are still children. Before they come up to you, they are children who still resist. But with time, you don't give up on children.
No.
You learn to embrace children with their differences. So I think that is very, very beautiful. Coming from a child.
Wonderful.
And like we said, children are very open and genuine.
Yes, they are. Your turn.
Oh, wow. Reimagined. Oh. What is... Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, worst experience during an observation.
Yes.
Awesome.
Worst experience during an observation. So maybe just to let you guys know, Simon, today's
They
the day.
decide today is the day.
Even the one who does it dance will dance.
Sure. So when the learners decide not to settle, it's up to you, my dear.
Yeah.
So you have to know now. This is where you have to remember, you as a teacher, you are also thinking, what do I do to these children? So you can, my pressure, you start rising, but you have to really control your self, because remember, you must also have the classroom control. This is where it comes in. So how you control the children matters a lot. But during that day of the observation, when the learners decide today I'm not settling, it's up to you.
Yes.
You really have to know how to come, control yourself and get your class to be controlled so that learning can take place.
For sure.
So sometimes it can get weird when they are unsettled.
Yeah,
and those days are there.
They are there
Without lying, for sure.
Yeah. And especially kids. Kids, as you said, kids don't know how to pretend. So this is somebody who has come in, the kids don't know them. So of course there will be that, unsettling feeling where they just want to play around. Have you had those moments where kids just go maybe to your line manager and just say hi in the middle of the lesson? Maybe they just came in, sat down, and they want to know why are they here?
And especially sometimes you have those children who are close to your line manager. So that is the time now they are feeling I should go have a conversation with my line manager, say hi to them. And sometimes imagine you just have to let them be.
You just smile.
Yeah, you just smile and let them say hi to the line manager. Then the learning will stay. At least it is not that throughout the lesson they will be like that. At one point, they'll also choose to settle. They'll able to improve in how we control the children in class. So that is even the reason for the observation. So what will happen, the manager will just sit you down, walk you through, give you constructive feedback, and sure, you'll see a lot of improvement.
And growth.
Yeah,
and growth. I
after
love
the
that.
implementation.
Yes, for sure. I love that. I've had institutions actually. I was talking to my auntie about this over the holiday, and she told me about some. So in other schools, they're not like managers, like a head teacher, and they come to your classroom and they come to observe you. So it's not like observing; they're actually coming to intimidate you in the classroom, which is very sad. And I hope if there's a manager or a head teacher who's out there to just do better and not intimidate teachers. And she was just telling me how, so it's a public school. And she told me, so they will come to your classroom and then they'll pick a random student and ask them a random question from any topic. So when the student answers incorrectly, so mostly they'll just answer incorrectly, or he'll just know who to pick. Because he's coming to pick on you, remember? So this is not somebody who's building you. So when the student answers incorrectly, now it's on you. So now the head teacher is like, you don't work. You're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. How comes they didn't know what I asked them? Which is very, very sad. And I'm happy for you that this does not happen in your school.
Sure, Miss Mercy, we are not judged.
Yeah.
We are guided. We are given feedback so that we grow.
Wow.
In order to grow.
That's amazing. All right. Almost done with the questions. Name that one time you got in trouble in school.
Wow.
Have you gotten in trouble before in your institution?
I would say those instances are there.
Okay.
You definitely have a day.
There are those
have a
days.
day at work. When you get into trouble, like when during school, we have, of course, the schedule that we follow. And then, sweethearts, when the children, it's time to go home, we take them to a place called patio so that they can settle in there.
Okay.
before the parents come to pick them up. Definitely they have to wait there. Remember, now they're not in a contained space, so the children want to run all over, go to the
time to say to the
explore,
friends,
to say hi, to explore. So what will happen to the children? One will decide, I am not sticking to your schedule of staying at the patio. So what will they do?
They will go and find somewhere to play.
They'll find their time. They will find their space.
Yes.
So what will happen when the parents come to pick the
Oh,
child?
they can't find the
They
child.
cannot find the child, and now we have to start looking for the child. By the way, it is scary when you can't find a child who was on your responsibility. Remember, the child is your responsibility while at school. So when a child decides to be sneaky a little bit and then go hide at the playground, and you have to be looking for them all over the
And you
school.
still have others to man.
You have others to man, and now you have to calm down the parent as well.
Oh, yes.
To just let them understand the child is not lost. So there are those instances where the child decides it is time to be looked for at school. But fortunately, they don't go too far. They have a place where they go to play. So during that moment when you think probably the child is not being found, troublesome.
Yes, for sure. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's your turn.
Wow. Oh, best experience at the workplace.
Oh, best experience.
I've had a lot of beautiful experiences, but one of the most beautiful experiences that I'm not going to forget was probably during my promotion.
Wow. Tell us about that.
It was a beautiful moment that I'm not going to forget. Remember your growth, your day of growth at your workplace. Because else, why are we working that day when you are told now it is your time to grow from one role to the other? And I fully appreciate my managers and our heads of the school, both principals, the executive principal and our Cambridge principal, for that opportunity to grow. So during my growth moment or during my promotion day, it was one of the most beautiful moments that I'm not going to forget.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
an experience. Not to forget.
Finally, the internship has paid. All the moments.
Finally, the internship has paid. Working slowly upwards and onwards. So from internship to the pre-primary to the upper school, and to the Cambridge school.
Congratulations. Drop a congratulations for Miss Terry. And remember, ukiona your internship, please apply. Go for it. Go for it. Work your way to the top. All right. What was your favorite experience during an observation? So you gave us a worst. Now we need a favorite experience. Oh, my favorite experience during an observation is definitely when the children decide to behave and calm. They decide to answer questions. They decide to assist me during the class. So it is so interesting when the children are behaving when you're being observed. Because remember, you also have goosebumps. You don't know what you don't know what will happen. You don't know what will happen. They're not. So when the children decide today is the day we are behaving, you can know how interesting that day is. So it is very, very beautiful. And also it is interesting when the manager just walks in. I did not know, probably I was supposed to have an observation, and my manager just walks in. And I think that from that, just walking in promptly without even letting it's also an interesting moment. So because it's you doing your thing. You doing your thing. You don't even have to fake it. It's beautiful. Because sometimes when they tell you prior, there are those nerves, and you're just like, you can't be natural. But when they just walk in close, into your natural, those are the best observations. Visits. Those are the best observations. Sure. Because you're just there being yourself, blending in with the kids. So it's beautiful when they just walk in. All right. I think when I was doing my internship, or was it when I was in school and there was an intern teacher who came, there were those times where they used to tell us, if you have the right answer, did you raise your right hand or something? You know those stories. And if you don't have an answer, raise your left hand. So that everybody, when the manager is in class, everyone's hand is up, but the teacher knows this one knows the
So I've also adapted a habit of not nowadays carrying work home.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I struggle with that one.
sure.
Yeah.
I had a habit of really, so I try to complete all my tasks at work so that then I'm not carrying work home.
Yeah.
Because it means the moment I leave school with work, then even at home, I'm not able to focus.
Yes.
I'm not giving the people who deserve now, because after school, there is life.
Sure,
There is life after
sure.
school.
Yeah.
So I've also adapted that habit of not carrying work home. You can try it, Miss
That's a
Passy.
good
What
one,
it
yeah.
helps.
Because I think
so
what it makes you do, sometimes you resent that part of work. Because you feel like
too much.
every time I have to be, all right, that's a good
So
one.
I'm able to set my goals that this is what I have to do for today, and unless it is very, very important that I carry work home, then I'm not carrying work home. I'm trying to finish all my tasks.
All right.
So now I'm able to have my own time, my
your
me time,
you
and,
time.
and
I
also
love that.
reflect on time.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Terry. So we have come to the end of our fun spot, and now so this part I would want Miss Terry to close it out for us, and she will tell us one, her favorite teacher quote or something that she uses all the time, and then she will talk to a tired teacher. I know there are teachers there who feel it's too much. Again, now we are going back next week. We are back to school. What happens now, and they don't deal with all, it's parents, lesson plans. Oh, lesson plans, by the way. Oh, that's not good.
I'm feeling like you're not having your own time as well. The work, everything revolves around the workplace.
Yeah.
So you start to resist your workplace, or to have resent your workplace. Thank you, Miss Mercy. You start resenting your workplace. What I would tell you is get a piece of paper, write the positives and the negative. Probably if that is the only place you have to work right that particular time.
Yes.
If you don't have any options, write the positives. When you were looking for this job, what were you looking for? What have you achieved up to now? What are you not achieving? Should the positives exceed the negatives, then probably it is a place you can continue working. If the negatives are way too many, then probably you need to reconsider. But if it is a place that you can see a future, please do not give up with your workplace. Probably, sometimes we talk about people being toxic. Are you contributing to that toxicity? Are we doing also the right thing towards being appreciated at work? Remember, every workplace has its challenges. So before you get tired, it is very, very important that you reconsider. And if for sure that is not your place, if that you feel that is not the place where you belong, please do not hesitate to
Yes,
leave.
yes.
We are not, if you're not thriving at the
Mm.
place where you're
At the snap of your finger, it needs, resilience. It needs you to remember your why and keep working.